I am testing out the focus. Focus. There is a tradition at a lot of conventions, specifically furry conventions. No surprise there. But because people are typically not their persona IRL, as far as I'm concerned, people do a thing which is called badges, which is like nameplate that you wear on like a necklace, or the idea is people can figure out who you are and figure out who your character is and stuff. I think that's... I got distracted by the gifs in the background. Let me get a second. Okay, never mind. Is like... I have an interesting idea though. Okay, I have all these commissions laying around. What if I can extrude certain parts of the image into a 3D model and then print it as a badge? I thought that would be genius. Also a fun thing. See this? This is, I call it a moss ball. And if it would focus, yeah, there we go. It's this sphere that has a bunch of holes in it. And I put some moss in there, and hopefully the moss is going to grow out and, like, do stuff that moss does. So, I'm very excited for that. Anyways, I had a lot of trouble trying to figure this out. I decided to use this art I got from ZLeo a while back. Amazing artist, check that out. And a second thought, I haven't really told him that I'm making this video, so hopefully he's okay with that. I don't know, probably. I figured this would work great for a badge type thing, right? I at one point tried to use SketchUp, which is like 3D modeling software. I also, oh, that's the wrong tab. I also did a thing where I had it trace the image and I was gonna try to extrude those, but SketchUp didn't really want to deal with those, so basically what I ended up settling on was this, which is a depth map. And basically what that means is that the parts that are lighter aren't going to be extruded, and the darker part is, the more extruded it will be. Now, I had to do this a few different times to get it to work. Or wait, maybe it's the other way around. Maybe the darker doesn't get extruded. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Regardless, I thought this would be really cool, and I think that I got it to work. Now, when I extruded it out and turned it into a 3D model, we have this. Honestly, at this point looks slightly horrifying. Let me select it so we can move it around. I mean, it doesn't look too good. It's because the pixels are, I don't know, it's the amount of points. There's some goofy stuff going on here. But basically, what I did is I took it into Cura, or Cura, no, not Curta, that's a calculator. Cura. I like flattened it out a little bit, and here it is now, and it is not, it's printing right now over here. There it is. Going at it. So when I actually printed it, the circle part did print. For some reason, it's not showing up here in this rendering, which is very strange. Also, for all the complainers in the audience, I am using a tripod, so suck on that. Anyways, let's see here. If we zoom in, it looks pretty good, actually. I'm really excited about this, because once it gets flattened down, all those sort of like all those errors that were sort of brought out by Photoshop sort of get smaller. So it's harder to notice anything really wrong here. I think this is going to look fantastic, and that's printing now, so I guess we'll see what happens in a few minutes. There was also another idea I had about this, is an interesting thing called lithophanes or something like that. Imagine a plane, and then the darker parts of an image get converted into points and get printed onto this plane, and then essentially, when you shine a light through it, it looks as if it's a photograph. And I would like to try this soon. See, it looks disturbing when there's no light there, but it's a really neat idea, so I'd like to try that with sort of the bad idea behind it. It wouldn't really work unless you had lights behind it and it was dark, which, to be fair, at a furry convention, that's not really out of the question. I guess really bright lights could do something. I don't know. I'm curious. I think we might print that out just to see how it works. Actually, another way to sort of apply this to you guys, if you don't have a 3D printer and you say, hey, I actually want this, I believe there's this company called Shapeways. You can upload models and they print it for you. What you could do is a similar thing to what I'm doing, only have it print in color. That would look really cool. And I think on here it's like 75 cents per centimeter cubed of that material, so it's really cheap, and that would look amazing. Oh, let's see what happens over here. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I got caught up by, I got involved in some episodes of Stranger Things. Oh, that came off nicely. So this is what came out, okay? And first impressions, not bad if I'm being honest, especially considering this is my first try. So, I mean, I'm not sure if the details are too small. Let me look at this with my naked eye. Okay, to be fair, this looks really awesome. And also, remember that lithograph thing I was talking about earlier? We could probably apply that to this. I have a light here. I mean, like, that looks awesome. To the naked eye, though, it's not as good as I hoped, and it's mainly just because it's hard to differentiate the different colors from each other, and as such, that sort of makes it a little bit awkward. That being said, I mean, it looks fantastic. It printed out nice. It's a cool thing, no doubt about it. I think with enough finesse, we could get this to look really good. I think the best part about this is the Avery Miller. That came out really well. Let's pose for the thumbnail. So that's really cool. What is my next best thing? I think I am going to generate a lithograph. Okay, so I'll be back. I'm back. Let me tell you a little bit of a story first. I just woke up. I slept through, like, the entire day. Why does this happen to me? The whole world's falling apart. This is what printed. Okay? It's basically a little nameplate, and there's little holes on the top and stuff, and it looked really cool, and I was very excited about it. But when I came back to check, and this is before I fell asleep for the entire day, this is what printed. I am thoroughly as confused as you are. It appears that there is no back right here, and I reprinted it, you know, at the very least, even though I slept through the entire day, right? This print was running, so it should look really good now, I'm sure. Let's go check it out, right? Is this foreshadowing? That seems strange. Ooh, okay. What in the fresh hell is this? What? It looks like just infill. Theoretically, this all should be working. We've previously established the entire day has been chaos, okay? I freaking slept for most of the day. I think I figured out what the problem was here, okay? As you can see, it appears that the top of this didn't print. It would have turned out good if it would have actually printed. I happened to glance over here. There's a part of the 3D printer that is typically pretty important, and it's not there. This is very frightening. I don't know where the filament went. So, logical explanation would be to check down there. There's your problem. We used up all the orange filament. Oh my god. Today was a Saturday. It had so much potential. I woke up optimistic. Is that hair on my arm? That's disgusting. This is a nightmare. This video is quickly turning into a William Osment video. I replaced the filament, right? The issue is right here. The filament that's orange is right there from the last print, okay? And basically, it's at a point where I can't really pull it out or push it back in. Ugh. The power of jump cuts. Commence. I figured out what the problem was. You see, there was a piece of plastic, which I don't know what I did with it, but it was stuck in the extruder head. So I got that out, and I put in some new filament, and I just came back, and it smells like burning plastic. Can we get a zoom in on that? What? Do you see that? That is pieces of metal. These band-aids are because I got burned, but that's a piece of metal that got scraped off the printer bed because of the extruder. What is happening? I think I might have made it too low. Oh wow, that's insane, dude. Look at the... This is steel. What? Oh. I'll tell you how I deal with this in a few minutes. So, I think I fixed it. I burned my hands still in the process, but Basically, now it just smells like burnt plastic, but it is not tearing up the steel board. I think it's over extruding right now, because if you look at it, it looks a little bit too stringy. So I'm not super sure about that. Okay, 3D printer is currently on fire, and my first reaction was to grab the camera. I just turned it off because it was burning the print. This day just keeps getting better and better, huh? First I slept in. Well, actually that's not a bad thing. I was gonna make a great YouTube video, but instead my 3D printer decided to nearly catch on fire. It was smoking a second ago, and it was one of the most terrifying experiences I've ever seen. That singing voice aside. Okay, so where did we leave off here? Basically, what I have done is I used this customizer to upload some pictures, turn it into a 3D model with a little nameplate on the bottom. And last time I tried to print it, sorry, it's a mess because I've been working on this for days. It printed like this. It would be good if it was thicker, so I changed the model to make it thicker. Then we had problems with the filament, and then part of it caught on fire. So basically, I have been forced to turn off the printer. This is what came of the new filament. It kept saying sensor failure, and if you look closely enough, it's discolored. There's slight burning on there, which basically means I can't 3D print anything. I'm gonna have to send it off and get it fixed, essentially, which is great to hear. I think I'm gonna still publish this video because you know why? We accomplished our goal. The question was, can you 3D print a badge? In this case, if I would have just made the text a little bit wider and actually compiled the model correctly, it would have printed out fantastic, and it would have looked perfect, and it even has the holes and stuff. And all you had to do is just upload some pictures and add text to this custom model thing, and anybody could do that at home and get it ordered for super cheap. On the more advanced side of that, we did this thing, which I've sort of trimmed down a little bit. We can zoom in there. This turned out really well. I actually had a clip that I 3D printed that I was going to put in here beforehand, which turned out really well, but somebody's using it currently, which is, I'm really happy with this. It puts my point across quite nicely. It's a commission that got printed. You can tell a lot of the details, especially the Avery Miller part here. I'm going to punch a hole in it and like hang it up here, something like that. That answers the question. Is this a good idea? I think it totally is. It just needs a little bit of improvement, and it just needs to have a 3D printer involved that doesn't explode. My battery's dying, so I'm gonna make this quick. I almost forgot about some fan art I got recently, which is freaking amazing. This is a reference sheet, which is awesome because I didn't have a reference sheet beforehand, so that's from Cat Pants. Thanks for that. Check out their Twitter in the description. That goes for all these people, by the way. This is a really cute sketch, which I just loved so freaking much, by Remorgs or something like that. Check out their Twitter as well. Also, I got some art from Wilford, but I mean, I don't know, it confused me a little bit. It's not really my Sona, so I'm not super. If you enjoyed this video, please tell me. It makes me feel better about myself. If you would like to support me financially, I have a Patreon account. I don't have any Patreons right now, so if you want to be the first in a long while, I think you technically be the second Patreon because Wafa didn't actually donate through Patreon. But point is, you can be a Patreon. And once I get the 3D printer fixed, I'm thinking of adding an op where like every few months I 3D print you something and send it to you, which I think would be really neat. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to watch some of my other stuff here. Love you guys. Stay fluffy. Oh man, so cringy. Also, don't forget, I did a collaboration with Glitch. It turned out really good. You should check that out also.